and that he had only slain 1,000. He tried to kill David 21 times, but he failed. He hunted David all through Israel, hunted him out of Israel, hunted him through the Philistines' land, hunted David everywhere he went because of his hurts. Is that how you handle your hurt? You want to get revenge? You want to kill folks 21 times? All right. Okay. Go ahead, Brother Ricky. If
you hold on to that hurt, it's going to strangle the love out of your life.
Now, wait a minute. How many of y'all believe this?
Amen.
How many of y'all believe this? We're going to talk about different kinds of hurt. We're going to talk about David when he lost his child by Bathsheba after he had sinned. We're going to talk about Joseph and his brothers a little bit. We'll talk about King Saul. Talk about different kinds of hurts. And if you want to bring up a hurt, just a different kind of hurt. You can raise your hand. But the thing is how do you handle your hurt? And I know that most of us are handling them wrong. It took me time to learn how to handle my hurts. But I want you to know this. If you hold on to that hurt, it's going to strangle what?
The love out
what?
Of your life.
Out of your life. Out of your life. Are y'all with me tonight?
Amen.
It's going to strangle the love out of your life. It's going to make you go into bitterness, depressions. It's going to make you go do a lot of things that are going to keep you from growing. How do I handle the hurt in my life? How do I handle the rejections in my life? How do I handle the things that I know that Satan is bringing upon us to keep us from being a team, whether we're married, whether we're just in the same auxiliaries, whether we are in the church and we're trying to become kingdom-minded and team-oriented. Amen. When's the last time you've seen a basketball team consisting of one man and winning the titles and going someplace? It doesn't even happen, does it?
No, it don't.
All right. So we need teams. We need like the track team. Amen. We need teams. All right. Read on.
If you hold on to your hurt, it will shrink your heart, harden it, and eventually turn it to stone. You've got to deal with the hurt so you can get on with your life.
All right. Does anybody agree with that? Anybody
Amen.
agree with that? All right. Everybody agree with it then?
Amen.
Anybody don't agree with it? Let's see, so I can get another viewpoint. Let's go to 2 Samuel 12 and 18. 2 Samuel 12 and 18. And we want to talk about David as he's going through this thing where he's committed adultery. He committed adultery. He's killed a man. He's got his wife pregnant, and now the child is sick. But how does David handle the hurt? How does he handle the hurt? We'll deal with the hurt with people, but there are different types of hurts. And how does he handle the hurt? First of all, we're going to start at the 18th verse. We'll start at the 15th verse.
And Nathan departed unto his house, and the Lord struck that child Uriah's wife bare unto David, and it was very sick. David therefore besought God for the child, and David fasted and went in and lay all night upon the earth. And the elders of his house arose and went to him to raise him up from the earth, but he would not, neither did he eat bread with them.
All right, so what is David doing? He's fasting. He's praying. He's done wrong. He's suffering the consequences. God takes his hand of protection off of the baby. And so Satan has the right to, in other words, to take the baby's life, but not to take the baby to hell or anything. And so David is fasting, he's praying, he's laying on the ground. Go ahead.
And it came to pass on the seventh day that the child died. And the servants of David feared to tell him that the child was dead. For they said, Behold, while the child was yet alive, we spake unto him, and he would not hearken unto our voice. How will he then vex himself if we tell him that the child is dead?
They were afraid to tell David that the child was dead because they were afraid that he was going to lose his mind because he wouldn't eat, he wouldn't sleep, He wouldn't do nothing but lay down on the earth and fast and pray. Go ahead.
When David saw that his servants whispered, David perceived that the child was dead. Therefore David said unto his servants, Is the child dead? And they said, He is dead. Then David arose from the earth and washed and anointed himself and changed his apparel and came into the house of the Lord and worshiped.
Okay, how did David deal with this? How did David deal with this? All right, finish it up.
Then he came to his own house, and when he required, they set bread before him, and he did eat. Then said his servants unto him, What thing is this thou hast done? Thou didst fast and weep for the child while it was alive. But when the child was dead, thou didst rise and eat bread. And he said, While the child was yet alive, I fasted and wept. For I said, Who can tell whether God will be gracious to me that the child may live? But now he is dead. Wherefore should I fast? Can I bring him back again? Shall I go to him?
I
shall go to him, but he shall not return to me.
All right, so how did David deal with this? Give me a microphone, and just in very quick, I need you to do it very quickly. How did David deal with this situation? How's he dealing with this situation? Instead of letting it strangle all the love out of him, instead of going into great depression, how does he deal with it? How does he deal with it? All right, who's first? Okay, we got two of you. Two of you had your hands up. Three of you. I will do three of you.
Okay, I see right here, from what I'm seeing is that he did it and according to God's will. Instead of kicking up dust, he done the right thing, what he's supposed to do in God's eyes.
Amen. Very good. All right, Sister Rose, come on. How does it deal with this? How does it deal with this situation? This hurtful situation.
Praise the Lord. I first see that he fasts and prays to see if he, of course, the Lord was gracious and merciful, but he fasted and prayed to see if he could do anything to save his child, and he couldn't. But then even after that, he still worshiped him and trusted God through it all.
Okay, very good, very good. Brother Cross. Brother Cross. I'll take one more. That's Sister Diane back there.
I'm just reminded how he went into basically he got up and took a shower and went to church. That's what he did.
Yes.
That's what he did.
Yes, there
and
you go.
I can relate to that. Because when I was down and feeling sad, laying in the bed, when I was out of work, I didn't like it. I said, oh my God. I said, baby, I got to get up and go down here and do something. You know, I have to go down here and do something.
Yes.
So I have to sing some songs to myself.
Amen.
I have to read the word to myself.
Amen.
Because what'll happen is the mind will start to
Yes.
get away from what
Yes.
the purpose of God is. And
Yes.
we just can't make it that way. We just can't. And we know. And that's why I said I got to get up and do something. I can't sit here all day and just lay down like this. And I would read, but I found when I would read, even when I was in the middle of my reading, I would have to go back and start where I started from because my mind got off. I was actually reading, but my mind wasn't there. So then I would stop and I would get up and go. I said, I got to just go do some work. And
you went to the house of God.
It looked like a lot of work, but it really wasn't a lot of work because, see, the time was going. When the mind is not focused on something, then I don't know how to explain it.
Well, no, you've already explained it. That's fine. You went to the
shower
house
and
of
went
God.
to church.
You went to the house of God. All right, Sister Diane, we're going to close it out with this one. But how do you handle your hurts? You see, you could have laid around, had pity parties, but you got to deal with your hurts. Sister Diane.
I just wanted to say that he didn't blame God. He trusted
There you go.
him, and he got up and he just continued on
Yes.
with life. He didn't sit there and blame God
Yes.
and dwell in his loss.
There you go. You got to move on because hurts, rejections will strangle the life out of you. It will make you unproductive. You got to deal with your hurts. You can't just let hurts sit and fester. You have got to deal with them. Amen? Let's read a little bit more now. Where was I at? Okay, that's how David dealt with that situation. I want to go to Joseph very quickly in Genesis 45. Genesis 45 and 15. I want to go to Joseph dealing with a situation. These are different types of hurts. David hurt was, he lost a child and stuff, but he had sinned. And Psalms 51 tells you how he dealt with his sin. Genesis 45.
45 and 15.
Okay, Genesis 45.
And 15.
All right, hold on a second here. Let me. But you got to know how to deal with your hurts. Now, once again, how many of y'all been hurt more than once?
Amen.
How many of y'all been hurt more than twice?
Amen.
More than 10 times?
Amen.
More than 100 times?
Amen.
All right, it ain't going to stop. So it's how you deal with it that we are going to be able to work together, and we're going to be able to build teams, because the devil's whole purpose in any church is not let them get together. Just like at the Tower of Babel, the devil didn't have no problem because he was with them with the Tower of Babel. But with the church, he's always fighting the church to keep things going on in the church, to keep people hurting each other, and to keep people thinking that they don't want to go back, they don't want to fix it, they don't want to do this, because it weakens the church. Okay. All right, Genesis 45. All right. I don't know if y'all getting this. Genesis 45
Amen.
and
Yes,
15.
amen, Pastor.
But I need y'all. Genesis 45 and what did I say? 15.
15.
Let me make sure I got that. Okay, no, we're going to start at Genesis 45, and we're going to start at the first verse.
Then Joseph could not refrain himself before them that stood by him, and he cried, "Cause every man to go out from me." And there stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Egyptians of the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Does my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence.
They were troubled because he was revealing himself to them for the first time. Go ahead.
And Joseph said unto his brethren, Come near to me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For God did send me before you to preserve life.
Now, God did what?
Sent him before them to preserve life.
Yeah, but you hated me. You plotted my death. You put me in a pit. You sold me into slavery. I was in prison 17 years. So don't be grieved with yourself, because God sent me what? God sent me what?
God sent me before you
God
to preserve
sent me
life.
before you. So now, all right, very quickly. All right, now, what has Joseph found out? What has he found out? What has he found out? Sister Jessica, very good. Got your hand up quick. All right, because I'm only going to take one. What has he found out that we need to find out?
I was going to say he understood, after all he went through, he understood God's purpose or plan for him and his dream.
Very good.
So,
yeah. And hurt was part of the purpose. God cannot school you and train you without hurt. You've got to go through the school of hurt. Now, when you get to heaven, no more pain, no more sorrow. But as long as you're down here, expect somebody to hurt you. So he did. That's what he learned. That's what he learned. This is what we need to learn. That's what we need to learn. It was all in the purpose of God. Why hurt Joseph? Because Joseph was getting ready to sit on the throne. He had to be a man that was balanced. You are not balanced if you can't take hurt. You're not balanced. You have to be able to take hurt and to know what to do with it. You have to know what to do with it. You have to know what to do with it. Just like with anything else, money, you have to know what to do with it. Because, I don't know if it's a deal with a fool and his money is soon parted. Man, you got to know what to do with money. You got to know what to do with stuff. You can do the wrong thing with anything.